Welcome back everybody to update number 57. In today's video, I go back to 10 past product reviews in order from about a year ago and let you know what happened to those products after my review is over. Did I continue to use them? Did I give them away, or did they end up in the boneyard? The products covered in this video are numbers 561 through 570. That's February and March of 2024. So without further delay, let's get right to update number 57. Number 561 was kind of an interesting shredder I found on Temu. I wanted to see how it worked, and here's what happened. Slicer, which I saw going around online, it looked interesting. I want to try it out for myself. I believe it's only for right-handed people, so it discriminates. Quality-wise, it actually feels pretty solid. I was thinking it might be kind of cheap. It's actually, you know, I'm trying to bend this, pretty solid. All right, here we go. And, all right, oh, it's working. It's kind of working. It's definitely shredding it, but for some reason, I thought it was gonna take off more at any given time. It seems like it's a very small amount. I don't know if there's a technique issue or it just seems like it's just kind of gliding right across it. I'm not even really getting much. Now I looked online and I saw someone doing it differently. So let me try their technique and see if that works. They were doing it straight down and that doesn't work at all. That does not work at all. Let me try this edge technique again. See, that feels pretty good. I'm looking for any bumps I can, but the more smooth it gets, the less effective it gets. There are moments where it feels great, and now it's smoothing out again. It doesn't feel so good anymore. That's so weird, man. If I recall, they were showing it like this on the edge. Let's see here on the bell peppers. This feels unsafe. It's like very flimsy. I'm not sure which is more flimsy, the bell pepper or the cutter itself. You're supposed to get one cut through the first blade and then another cut through the second blade. That's kind of what it's supposed to go. I'm going slowly to see the function of it here. Not only does it make anything resembling a uniform cut, but it's just flinging the little bits and pieces all. It's a failure. This is a failure. Come on now. If the idea of this slicer is to make slicing easier, the amount I have to push to make it work for each pass is extensive. I'm pushing really hard. It's like I'd rather use a knife. I tried. Now, even though my results really weren't that great, I still left it out hoping I might still use it. And big surprise, I never did. Actually, last week I just donated that one, so hopefully someone can find a use for it because I didn't. Number 562 was this, the Outsunny Table. It's a folding picnic table that can hold up to 4 people. Let's flash back to my original review and see how that went. Picnic table that can supposedly fold all the way down to the size of a suitcase. All right, here we go. Well, what do you think? It was pretty easy to assemble. Hopefully it doesn't collapse. Here we go. Hey, what's holding me? It's holding me. I mean, it's not the most stable picnic table ever, but it's better than no picnic table, I guess. It comes in 2 colors, silver and blue, and I believe this is the silver even though it has blue connectors. It's also listed as a frequently returned item on Amazon, which might dissuade some people from wanting to buy it. It seems solid enough to work though. It's pretty light though. It's not that heavy. Easy to carry. So it looks like to assemble it about a minute, or maybe a little bit less. To pack it back up, even less than that. So it's a little bit flimsy for what it's being used for. I don't think the flimsiness matters too much, so I actually kind of like it. Now this isn't something I thought I would really use at all, but I've actually used it several times since my review. You've probably seen it appear in occasional videos when I'm outdoors. It's kind of nice for a quick portable table, and now it's not going to replace a normal picnic table. I've found myself using it enough that I have to say it's kind of useful. I recently took it out to the lake to film a collaboration video, which I'm still editing, by the way. It's not the most sturdy table. It's kind of small, but if you ever need a quick table in a pinch, I think this one actually works. Number 563 was a collection of gadgets I found at Kohl's to see how they actually worked. Let's flash back to my original review and see how that went. $80 humidifier. And oh, we have light too. Got a pretty good mist coming out of there. The light's not too bad. The bubbling, I guess, is a little bit pleasant. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like it. I just, 80 bucks, I don't know. I'm gonna check out this reaction rocket and see what this is all about. Next, add 1 teaspoon of citric acid to a test tube and swirl. A teaspoon of baking soda to the middle of the tissue. Now insert the rocket by twisting. Oh, come on now. Terrible, absolutely terrible. I don't know about this. Mini chopper. All right, not bad, not bad. Not great, not bad. All right, let's do it. All right, you know what, not terrible, not terrible. Once again, I've got that kind of burning smell, which does not bode well, but it did do a pretty good job. It's time for the Tornado Lab. We're gonna go low, start off. It's spinning. Oh, there it goes, it's forming. Oh yeah, look at that, oh yeah. It's not only oddly satisfying to watch, but there's this clanking sound, which for some reason is kind of oddly satisfying too. Let's crack open this scented wax cube warmer. We have a nice light there. Cubes are in place, the light is lit, and the stopwatch is going. All right, we're a little over 2 minutes here, and I'm already starting to smell kind of a nice, pleasant scent here. All right, so after about a half an hour, it completely melted. I'm not burning myself. It's warm, but it's not unbearable, so it's kind of nice. Lumibone ring stuffer, not much to it. Just kind of pack it in there. Oh, she's already licking at it. She's already licking. Well, she likes peanut butter, that's been established. Billy, you're tracking all over the place. So first she eats the peanut butter, and now she's gonna chew on it. Good girl. Oh, she's wagging her tail. She is wagging her tail, good girl. Oh, she likes it. She likes it, good girl. Now of all those products, the Vornado was the one I probably used the most. And I pulled it out for you right here. It's something I use on a fairly regular basis. I rarely haven't had too many issues with it, but I will say that there's a little bit more involved cleaning this one than the other humidifiers I've had in the past. As you can see, it's held up pretty well. I do kind of struggle with buildup that goes around these edges here. You can see a little bit right there that I didn't get. Usually after about a week, this whole rim here is white from buildup, so I have to scrub that off. Even though it might be a little bit more difficult to clean than other humidifiers, I still like this one quite a bit because it spews out a bunch of mist. And it holds a ton of water too. I mean, look at the capacity of this thing. So after a year of use, I am still happy with the Vornado. Number 564 was the Presto Stuffler. It was kind of going around online last year. A lot of people were amazed by its ability to create stuffed waffles. I tried it out for myself, and here's how that went. The Presto Stuffler, which will make stuffed waffles. This supposedly also has built-in waffle tongs. Place it on the countertop in the open position, close the unit, plug it in. Now we have to wait for about 10 minutes for it to preheat, and then we're ready to rock. Well, that does seem to cover it up. Some scrambled eggs, a little bit of cheese, and then top it off with more batter. Close it up and immediately turn it 180. Now set a timer for 7 to 8 minutes and hopefully it turns out okay. Here we go. And oh, that part looks pretty good. Look at the thickness of this thing. It's huge. Wow, look at that. That's pretty impressive looking. That one looks pretty good. What do you think, Bailey? Bailey's definitely smelling that. And the outside's nice and crispy and brown, and the inside's nice and fluffy. It looks great. A couple of chicken strips. Finish off with more batter. Close it up. Flip it over. Set the timer for 8 minutes. All right, the timer's up. Let's try this last waffle and see how it turned out. Here we go. Look, once again, looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. The only thing I've noticed is sometimes it seems to stick to one side. I have to use something to pry it out of there. Not too bad though. There you go, nice chicken inside the waffle. What do you guys think? It seemed kind of full at the time, but now I realize I probably could have put one more strip in there. There you go, dripping with honey, chicken and waffle. Now, as much as I like this one, I have to admit I only use it on a few occasions. There really wasn't anything wrong with it, but I guess just stuffed waffles aren't really my thing. I still think it's a great product, but to me, it's only something I used once in a while. Number 565 was the Canoly Juicer. Now, this was a #1 best-selling juicer on Amazon. I want to see how it worked. Let's first flash back and see how my original review went. This model by Canoly, I don't think it's Canoly. They say you get more juice and minimal foam with this model. First thing I'm gonna do is a couple of them without the peel. Oh, wow. Whoa, whoa. It was oddly satisfying and brutal at the same time. It seemed to get stuck there. Let me put another one in there just to kind of push it through. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh wow. Well, I mean, that's a decent amount of juice. Let's put this in a cup here. I don't see much pulp at all, actually. Looks pretty nice. Let's go for the first taste. That's perfect. That sounds brutal. Oh, it's overflowing. It's overflowing. It was overflowing. Oh no. It was utter chaos in here. It was utter chaos. Wow. Okay, well, you can't do 4 apples at once. It overflowed the unit, then it overflowed my glass. The pulp overflowed here. It was just complete mayhem. Overall, my final impression about this is pretty good. My only complaint is that the collection cups are a little bit too narrow. It doesn't seem like no matter where you put them, the pulp or the juice kind of goes on either side of it. You could use something bigger. I was trying to use theirs, but I think that's really the only downside, and otherwise good product. Now, I kind of go through a lot of different phases, and sometimes I go through juicing phases. When I went through a juicing phase last year, I did use this quite a few times. I really don't have anything to add to my original review, but it did hold up quite well, and I found that it was actually pretty good. What's interesting though is that when you go back to the original listing, they show a different juicer now. And that juicer doesn't seem to be as highly rated as the one that I reviewed. It's strange to me they would take a best-selling model and put something else there that people don't seem to like as much. But that's how Amazon goes sometimes. Number 566 was a Selah water bottle. It's an interesting design that has 2 different cartridges to flavor your water. Let's flash back to my original review and see how that went. Here's the bottle itself. Looks nice. It holds 1 pod on each side. The claims that there's no artificial ingredients, 0 sugar, no artificial coloring. So you gotta slide that up a little bit more than I thought you did. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now it's in place. Now this has to go up to, it looks like that blue line right there. Pushing until snug, closing it. And there we go. That was 1 click. Not bad. Let me try another click here. Much different. 2 is not too bad. It's still kind of light, but it's getting there. Let me go for a third click here. Click number 3. Oh yeah, that's much stronger. And it's a good flavor too. Then something else I learned as well was when you push this plunger up, you have to be gentle. If you push it too hard, you're gonna squirt a bunch of flavor out, which you're gonna waste it. Pushing it up, and it is in place. Fold that over, push this up. Now something else I noticed yesterday is I'm not totally fond of this cap's placement because it's kind of right next to your face. It's like you're talking on an old cell phone or something. Hello? Hello? Anyways, I digress. Let's try the green apple. I just recently did a juicer video where I did some green apple, and that kind of tastes like green apple juice. Every time I say cephalopod, I keep thinking cephalopod. You definitely don't want to be putting a cephalopod in here. So in the end, I think the Selah is a viable alternative to the Circle. But aside from their choice of sweetener and the ability to mix flavors, they're going to need to find a way to separate themselves from the more popular option and give users a compelling reason to make this the #1 choice. Now, I went through all the cartridges and I did enjoy it, but for whatever reason, I didn't really keep using it. I didn't order more after I was done, although I did think it worked pretty well. Maybe it was because the refills weren't as easy to find as the Circle, which I can find at stores. So after this is over, I did go back to my Circle water bottle. There's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't find a compelling reason to switch from this to Circle. Number 567 was a collection of salad gadgets. Let's first flash back to my original review and see how that went. Salad spinner and measuring cup. All right, placing the colander section into the spinner. On the lid, we are ready to rock. Oh, pretty simple, pretty simple. How fast can I go? Oh yeah. Collected that much water in the bottom, not too bad. And we have some pretty dry feeling greens here, so that's pretty nice. The praying mantis looking snappy. That is very Venus flytrap-like. Very cool. It's kind of just fun to play with. Whoa. Whoa, I just got the entire bowl. Wow, that holds a lot. Now that is kind of fun. That actually makes grabbing some salad kind of fun. Look at all that. I mean, I could almost take the entire bowl out in 2 swipes. A highly rated multi-level salad bowl. Nice bowl of greens here. First up, we'll try some croutons on this side. Is it leak proof? It is not leaking. That's a good thing. Place that in there. Place the top on. Put my reusable fork in there. It's gonna fit a little paper towel in here, I guess. So as far as I'm concerned, all three of these salad gadgets worked quite well. The salad spinner was big enough to do plenty of greens, but not so big that this takes up a lot of space. Now the Snappy I really like. It's almost like having a giant Venus flytrap for hand, and it does work. And the salad bowl, I can see why it's so popular because it does what it's supposed to do and it doesn't leak. Now I have to admit, I was a pretty big fan of the salad spinner until very recently when something happened to it. It got warped in the dishwasher. Now I've run this one through the dishwasher many times, top rack only, but for some reason the last time I ran it, it actually warped. The lid doesn't fit on there anymore, so it's kind of not usable. It's kind of unfortunate because I really like this and I used it a lot until that happened. Number 568 was a collection of drink containers. Let's just flash back to see how that original review went. Temu Bottle, which is a flat bottle for water, very stylish. Fitly, it's a soft flask. And this is the Hideaway, which is a pint-sized cup. Just the shape and the design and the way it feels reminds me of those flasks my friends in high school used to walk around with alcohol in them. Now this one you're supposed to bite the opening and the water supposedly comes gushing out. Oh, I just polished off all 5 ounces. And it does shrink as you drink it, so that claim is accurate. All right, so it's certainly serviceable for a morning cup of coffee. I don't think that it's too flimsy. I don't like the stainless steel rim, so I think, you know, it's certainly workable. You know, I can already tell it doesn't hold very much. This is I think the smallest one they have. It takes a little bit of getting used to get the water out, but once you do, it's not too bad. What's weird about this one is it almost feels like I'm drinking out of a perfume bottle or something. It's just, you're not used to a flat, rectangular shaped water bottle, but it does work. And it doesn't leak either, so I kind of like that. Brought a water bottle. Say we're sharing water, and we don't want to drink out of the same bottle for some reason. Feels pretty sturdy in the hand. Feels pretty comfortable, and actually, I could have collapsed it half the size. There is something kind of oddly satisfying about drinking out of the stainless steel rim, so I give them that. Collapse it up. It's good to go back in the backpack. I think most people who buy it will like it, but I also think most people who buy it will probably think that it was overpriced. I wouldn't be surprised to see cheap knockoffs out there anytime soon though. Now as far as the Fitly goes, I have no complaints about this one. It seems kind of situational, maybe for cyclists or hikers. Now as far as the Hideaway goes, I really like this one. Although it's not revolutionary, I had something almost the same as this when I was like 10 years old back in the 70s. So it's not really a new design, but it is useful. Unfortunately, this is a collection of gadgets I didn't really use after my review was over. I didn't really think I was going to use the Memo bottle, although I had it in my backpack for a while, never really used it. Even though I tried to use them, I left a couple of them out, they ended up being given away or in the boneyard. For product review number 569, my goal was simple. Get a best-selling projector on Amazon for under $100 and see how it compares to a regular TV. That's what I did, and here's what happened. So this is the Ownknew brand that I found on Amazon, normally $99.99. Now I've got my laptop right here with my channel on there. And as you can see, we're gonna switch over to HDMI. And there we go. Okay, so we've got the laptop and we've got the projector. Let's get a little closer. Now, you cannot even read that it says YouTube right there. Can you read that? I cannot read that. You can actually see the individual pixels on this. It's pretty pixelated. So definitely not vibrant colors. The remote is responsive. I like that about it. Welcome back, everybody. I'm back with a weird product called the Toilet Paper Blaster, which is a gun that shoots toilet paper spitballs. Let's see how it works in today's video, starting with the unboxing. My first observation is the audio is pretty good. Let's use. Oh, wow. We got Bailey here's watching. All right, so we're gonna select the USB trans flash option. We'll select a movie. It shows as a card in there. All right, I have a Temu Slicer video. That's pretty cool. It's massive. It's like a drive-in movie. The text is kind of hard to read up close. Look at me, I'm huge. But look how big that is compared to me. It's a big screen. Maybe not the highest resolution in the world, but it is large. All right, so in the end, I would say my pros and cons for this projector pretty much apply to most of them. And that is that the picture quality isn't as vibrant or as high quality as a regular television set. The audio isn't really as good, and it does require a darkened room for optimal viewing. But on the other hand, it's a lot cheaper than a television set and much more portable. You can use them outdoors, and they can be stored away easily when not in use. So in the end, I thought it had its place. I think it functioned pretty well, but it's certainly no replacement for a regular TV. I think it's good in areas where a real TV isn't feasible. My house is kind of full of TVs, so it's something that I really didn't continue to use. Number 570 was the Cheetos Duster. It was a Cheetos themed blender that allowed you to grind up Cheetos and use it as a topping. Let's first flash back to see how my original review went. The Cheetos Duster is basically a small blender that you put Cheetos in there and create dust that you can flavor different foods with. Let's start with the classic crunchy Cheetos and see how that goes. Looks like we're at our max fill line, so here we go. All right, the blinking light means it is on there properly, so here we go. All right, I think we're done. I think we're done. That was a lot more dusting than I thought I was gonna take. Take a look inside, that's what we got. It does look very dusty in there. Now it's time to put the cap on there and try to dispense some of the Cheetos dust. It just looks like finely chopped Cheetos. Popcorn and Cheetos dust. If you don't constantly shake it, it just kind of sits there. We're getting there. I'll be trying this on foods later, but I'm just kind of curious here. It tastes exactly like you would think it would. There is the consistency of it. I mean, there are still some chunks in there. It just cuts through the Cheetos puff and doesn't even really grind it up. This should, I don't know what this is gonna taste. Extra crunch to it. I actually like that. Now, I would have never combined those things together, but now that I have, I kind of like it. The cold jelly with the heat from the flaming hot Cheetos dust is a great pairing. So as far as this one, I think that it kind of worked more as a novelty piece or even a display item more than a functional blender. After my review is over, I decided to keep my Ninja Express chop out, and I gave away the Cheetos duster on Discord. Well, that's it for this batch of products. I would say the one I use the most of these would be the Vornado, which I use almost every night. But it was a pretty interesting batch of products as usual. I'll be back in about another month with my next update. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.